Alright, hey guys, if you got an AR-15 or some other rifle and you got a scope, but you just can't get that thing sighted in with your puny little girly man binoculars, hey, me too. What I've decided to try is I picked up a spotting scope. I got this down at Harbor Freight. It's a 2060 by 60 millimeter spotting scope with a tripod. It's Harbor Freight quality, probably came from China. Don't know how it's going to work, but we're going to try it out. And we'll see. We're going to try it here first. We're up on top of a ridge just below Capitol Peak and Capitol Forest. We can see all the way out that way. You can see the Chehalis. You can see the hills on beyond that. Can't quite see Mount St. Helens today. It's pretty hazy out on the skyline. Probably about 30 miles of visibility. To the north, you can see a little bit of Puget Sound. Really cool day to be on the mountain. If you're not here, sucks for you. All right, so we're going to take a look at this. We're going to try it out up here on the hill. Look down into this beautiful valley. You can see here in this footage I'm showing you right now what the valley looks like. It's absolutely stunning. It's a little bit windy up here, but I think it's going to be a good day for running the spotting scope. When we're done with this, we're going to head back down to Capital City Rifle and Pistol Club, try and sight in the AR-15 down there with that little scope that we bought off of Amazon, see if we can get it closer than we did with the binoculars. Okay, this is a target at 100 yards. How far is 100 yards? Well, it looks an awful lot like this. It's way the heck out there. Well, the spotting scope doesn't really show up way out there, but maybe the camera does. It's kind of a bright day, so I can't really tell by the viewfinder. Suppose we'll find out when we get back to the studio. In the white, you're in the center ring. Okay, hang on, hold. I'm going to move this one click to the right. Oh yeah, perfect. Oh yeah. 100 again. Okay, so we took this up, tried it out. What do you get for 60 bucks? Well, you get this fine looking box. Their box making quality's actually come up a lot in the past few years. You get this bag. This is where your scope is. It's got a fake Chinese leather, I don't know what it is, like a little flap there to catch out on. Bag opens up, and inside you have your scope and your tripod. Now the tripod, it's not super high quality. It's made out of folded metal. Probably see that there. It's not cast. There's nothing cast on this except for the center spider. Okay, the scope has a desk cover on this end, hard plastic. This end it has a soft rubber one. Your adjustments as far as your mean magnification are done on the eyepiece. You've got a 20x, 40x, and 60x. Fine adjustments done here on the side. If you have trouble with sun getting in, you can pull this out and it acts as a sun shield and gives you some relief into your lens there. It's got a standard mount on the bottom for like a camera shoe. You can put it on there. So if you had this mounted to, if you had another camera tripod, you could actually mount this to the camera tripod and it would work pretty good. So how does it work? Well, there's $650 scopes up at Cabela's and they work splendidly. This is a $60 one. For sighting down into the valley, it was adequate, it was sufficient. For sighting at 50 yards, it was perfect, did a really good job. For sighting at 100 yards, it works, though it's kind of prismatic. You get a little bit of a prisming effect because, let's face it, for $60 you're not getting the world's best optics. In a previous video we talked about how we bought a low budget scope off of Amazon to see if it was adequate or pretty good, and it's good up to 50 yards. I would say after our time on the range today, it's good out to 100 yards. Although at that range you're kind of reaching a little bit. You might even be able to get out to 200 yards if your eyesight's better. I'm an old man, I got the old eyes, so it is what it is. This gave us enough magnification to drag the shots back into the center of the target. So if you're trying to sight on a scope on a rifle, and you're going to be shooting out at 200 meters, this probably isn't going to do the job for you. Out to 100 meters, oh yeah, I would say $60 is a reasonable price for one of these fellows over at Harbor Freight. You might go and get yourself a different tripod. That tripod is hinky. It's small though, and it works on the bench. I mean, it worked. We set it up on the shooting bench, and it was adequate for what we're doing. Working with it up on the mountain, we had to rest it on the tailgate of the truck, and we were able then to use it to look down in the valley. If I were going to continue using this and I wanted to have a little bit more utility with it, like I was using it to spot game, I would probably buy another cheap Ravelli camera tripod and just mount it to that. That would give me something where I could hold it a little bit better, it'd be a little bit more sturdy and more stable, because you just touch this thing and it moves around a little bit, especially at any sort of range. So would I recommend it? It's a qualified yes. If you're trying to sight in a mid-range scope, then yeah, it'd probably work. A high-end scope that you're going to be looking really clean through the optics at 200 yards, you're going to outdistance this pretty quickly. But to 100 yards, I think this is adequate. I think it does a good job. For a game spotting scope, $60, yeah. You know, it's not a $600 scope at Cabela's. It only cost me $60. And for $60, I'm not going to feel terrible if I lose it. I'm going to be a little growly, but I'm not going to feel terrible. Would I tell you to buy it? Yeah, I would say if you're in the market for a spotting scope and you don't have a whole lot of bread, this is certainly an adequate way to get into the game. So there you go, $60 worth of Harbor Freight scope, definitely worth the purchase price. I think you'll get $60 worth of use out of it. If you need something more high-end, don't expect to get it for $60. If you're looking for something like an Amazon scope that you bought to put on your AR-15, this will get you where you need to be.